Sean Zink, April 24th, 2015. It's been a little while since my last blog. I put a quote by George Lucas on my phone, on my lock screen, and it says this: "You simply have to put one foot in front of the other and keep going. Put blinders on and plow right ahead." I put this on my lock screen, right here on my phone. So that way every time I open it every day now, that's the first thing I'm going to see when I open up my phone. That's a quote by George Lucas. I love this part that he put it right here in the quote. Put blinders on and plow right ahead. That's in a way that means simply go for it without worrying about what happens after. In that you're just doing it. You're just going for it. You're just plowing through. And that's what I want to do. You know, I want to plow through with my film passion. I think there's nothing more I'd like to do in this world than to get paid for something I love to do. And that's make movies. That's exactly what I want to do. And I'm trying to take some of that fear away. Originally, I was afraid about sacrificing money for certain creative endeavors. But now, I put those fears behind me, and I'm spending it on a designer for my app game that will be available on the iPhone and Android network. The person I've spoken with has already given me environments, pictures of who the characters will look like, and it's really promising. It really is. I'm really happy with that. Currently, I am also working on a treatment for my screenplay, or getting somebody, I hired somebody to write that up for me, so that way I can create some kind of screenplay. So I'm moving forward on the list of things that I want to complete. There's also one constant in my life, and that's my student loans. That's the one debt I'd like to get rid of. I can get rid of my credit card. I have money for that. It's my student loans, over $30,000 at least. That's going to be a little more tricky to get rid of. It makes me wish that I can just press a button and just make that go away. But I'm hopeful that this app and this screenplay, or at least this app more logically, maybe lots of people like it, and I'll start selling like hotcakes. I'm hopeful for that. I really am. I'm also working up the courage to write my book. I know people might be asking, working up the courage, what does that mean? About my weight loss, I'm wondering if it's good enough of a subject, because I think people tend to gravitate more stories of weight loss amongst women because it's a lot harder for them. And because they're, biologically, it's a lot harder for them to lose weight than men. And even though I've lost 200 pounds in the past, I'm wondering, is that a compelling enough story? I think it is. I wrestle with myself sometimes, when do you start? That's why I'm going back to this quote that he says, the phrase, put blinders on and plow right ahead. That is just to go for it. Go for it without just thinking about it. And that's why I hired somebody to do my app. That's why I've taken the liberty of spending money, of risking it all. You know, making this app is going to cost me over $1,000. That's not even counting the SDK account that I got, that developer's account for the iPhone. I can understand why a lot of people, you know, they just don't put apps on the iPhone network because, you know, it costs more money that way than, say, the Android. But I'm going to try to start writing it down within the week, within these 7 days that I talk to you, that I'm speaking to this camera. It's a lot harder, you know, because you're just freely writing and just hoping that it succeeds. Or you're hoping that I'll come to something, because I got other stuff to do, take care of. You know, I'm just trying to push through these business classes. And, you know, it's hard to dedicate that time and effort to something that you're really not going to use. You know, I'm not going to use these business classes. I don't see myself in business. That's kind of a last resort for me. That's kind of a backup. Is to be an assistant manager, or be a manager, or, you know, I'm just not a guy who's going to pull down a desk job. I don't see myself doing that. My one dream is when I get enough money to pay off my student loans, to pay off my credit cards. That way I'm just free of debt. And I can just, you know, get on the roller coaster and just sail on through all my other creative projects that I have lined up. Now I am selling on a couple of them. I'm putting money down. But I mean, I'm talking about making movies, you know, having a little more creative freedom, like more freedom for myself to pursue my creativities. Now my app doesn't come out into the market until June. That's what my developer tells me. I'm currently working on the treatment from the person I've been speaking with, writing for me, and then I'll work on that as well. And also, I'd like to work on the book, and I figured if worst comes to worst, then at least I get some bragging rights. You know, I get to say, hey, you know, some people ask me, hey, well, what have you been working on? Well, I've been working on an app that I have on the market, working on a screenplay, and I'm working on a book. I got the book in Z-Book. It's available on Amazon. Sometimes I think about, you know how you have a conversation with a person, and the person asks, what have you been up to? It kind of sucks when you tell them, not much, you know, just working and working out, working out. You know, sometimes you wish you had more to talk about, like, oh hey, I've been working on writing a book and writing a screenplay, and we're working on an app, and, you know, etc. You know, I know that sounds a little petty, you know, just doing it for the sake of having stuff to talk about in a conversation, but, you know, why can't I have that? You know? But I'm confident that I'll be able to do it. And when I start working on the book, I also want to go to New York City. I feel I'm a little bit closer to that. I'll sign up for a Southwest card, travel card, and start paying my regular expenses with that, and hopefully along the line I'll accrue enough points to buy my airline ticket. Then I'll go to New York City. Because I'd like to go on a vacation. I'd like to go somewhere. It'd be really nice. Something on my bucket list of things I want to accomplish this year. And hopefully that'll be possible. So I guess that's all I can think of at the moment. I have other things, but I'll I'll talk about this stuff on the next thing. So I guess that's it. Yeah, I guess that's all.